Is it okay, the screen? Now see, in the previous class, we have briefly seen the various phases of the compiler. Guys, is the voice okay? Okay, we have seen lexical analysis, syntax analysis, semantic analysis, intermediate code generation, code optimization, target code generation. Briefly, we have seen about these things. Now we have to see a small concept briefly about the symbol table. What is the symbol table? What it contains? We have to learn a few points about this one. Internally, how symbols table is maintained. What are the operations on that symbol table? What is the data it will store in the symbol table? Clear? Okay. Did anyone have any idea what is the information that will be stored in the symbol table? Did anyone have any idea about the symbol table? What it stores? If you observe the diagram, the symbol table is related to all the six pages. The symbol table is related to both from lexical to target code generation. For every phase, it is internally using the symbol table. Okay. What is the symbol table actually contains? Symbols means which symbols? Simply you are saying since the name is symbol table, you are saying it will store symbols. See, in one line answer, simply we want to say what is the symbol table contains means the symbol table will store the information about the identifiers in the source code. Identifiers of the program. In one line answer, simply if you want to give the answer, simply the symbols table will store the in all the information related to identifiers in your program. Clear? Whenever generally our program will contain some identifiers will be there in the program. The information about those identifiers are stored in this symbol table. Okay, all the attributes related to that identifier. Okay, attributes means properties. All the properties related to those identifiers will be stored in the symbol table. Okay, that's simply in one line answer. A symbol table contains list of identifiers as well as attributes of each identifier. Attributes means properties. I think in the DBMS recently you got to came to know about the attributes. Okay, attributes of entities. Okay, same thing here also. Okay, generally what are identifiers in our program? What are called the identifiers in our program, whether it is C or Java? What which items in the program are called as identifiers? For example, if you write a program for addition of two numbers, a small sum like that. What are identifiers in the program? Yeah, exactly. Variable names are called identifiers. Some more. Okay, one answer is right. Variable names are called identifiers. Any more other identifiers? Space is not the identifier. Okay, variable names is okay, exactly. One name variables are the identifiers. Any more answers other than variables? Print is not the identifier. It is a predefined method name. See, what is an identifier means? The identifier means the names we are using in the program are called identifiers. The names used by the user in the program are called identifiers. Okay. Operands are not the identifiers. Operators are not the identifier. Printf is not the name used by the programmer. Printf is the name defined by the language itself. Okay. Yes. Second answer is also method names are also identifiers. Exactly. Variable names are identifiers. Next, method names are also identifiers. Exactly. Very good answer. Next, any more suggestions? What are the identifiers in the program? I think in the C language we have things. In the C language we have two identifiers, set of identifiers. మన ఫస్ట్ లో C లో ఫస్ట్ లో చెప్తున్నాం PPT లో. Yeah, class names are also identifier. Exactly, the names, they are also our names. See, whatever the names we are our own names we are using in the program, they are called identifiers. Whenever we are using our own names in the program, wherever we are using our own names in the program, those names are called identifiers. These are defined by the user only. Variable names, it is user wish. Some people will use AB, some people will use XYZ, like that. User names are the variables are identifiers. Similarly, class names, object names, it is our wish. I am using object name S1, S2, S3. Some people will use S11, S22, like that. Object names are variable names. Class name also our wish. We can use any name as a class name. Class names are the identifiers. Method names are identifiers. Why? Because method names are also user wish. The user can use. When we come to user defined methods, all the names used in the user defined methods are the identifiers only. Why? Because we can use our own name for the method. I am using the method. Some people is using the method add. Some people is using some method total. Name is different. Whatever the task. Okay. So generally, identifiers are the names used by the programmer in the program. They may be variable names, function names, or method names. Okay, class names, object names, all those things. The duty of the symbol table is to store the identifiers and also to store all the information related to those identifiers. That means what is the data type of those identifiers, what is the scope of that identifier. For example, if we take int A, okay, A is identifier. For that variable A, we have to store all the information related to that A. Its a data type is int. Okay, its scope is local variable or it is a global variable. Okay, like that. Okay, it will take memory of 2 bytes, like that. All the information related to that variable A will be stored in the symbol table. The duty of the symbol table is to store the identifiers in your program along with all the information needed by that one. Clear. That is briefly about the in one line answer what is the symbol table. Now we will see about this one. See, when we come to the symbol table, a symbol table is an important data structure created and maintained by the compilers. Generally, the symbol table is used by both analysis part as well as synthesis part. Both parts will use the symbol table. Both analysis part as well as synthesis part will use the symbol table. It is the main important data structure used by the compilers. See the list. Okay. What is the symbols table stores means? The symbols table will store variable names, function names, object names, class names, interface names, data type of variables, scope of variables, number of arguments passed to the functions, data types of arguments passed to the functions. Okay, what is the method of passing arguments? Generally, when we come to this last one, method of passing argument, in how many ways we can pass arguments? When we come to the arguments, in how many ways we can pass arguments? The last one is method of passing of arguments. In how many ways we can pass arguments? Argument passing అండి. How many ways are there? C language లో మనం నేర్చుకున్నాం. How many ways are there for passing argument? 4 ways. I am not asking categories of functions. I am asking in how many ways we can pass the parameters. Parameter passing. Simply మనకు అర్థమయ్యే language లో. Yeah, exactly. 2 ways. One is call by value. The other one is call by reference. Okay. Parameter passing is nothing but argument passing. ఏదైనా సరే నేమ్ కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతుంది. Parameter passing అంటే స్ట్రైక్ అయింది. Argument passing అంటే మీకు స్ట్రైక్ అవ్వట్లేదు. Arguments are parameters. Name is same. How many methods are there? Generally in the programming language, 2 methods are there: call by value and call by reference. Okay. So when we come to this symbol table, it will store variable names. Along with the variable names, it will store the data type of variable, scope of variable. It will store object names, class names, interface names. It will store the method name. When we come to the methods, it will store for the method how many arguments are passed. What are the data types of arguments passed? What is the procedure we have followed for passing of the argument? Call by value or call by return reference. Next, what is the type of return type? Which return type we are using? Void or int or float? Which return type we are using? Okay, like this. All these informations are stored in the symbol table. If you observe these points, all are related to identifiers only. Variable is identifier, function name identifier, objects, classes, interfaces. All these are the identifiers. Data type of variables means property of variable. Scope of variable, it is also a property of variable. Number of arguments passed to the function, it is a property of function. Type of arguments, it is a property of the functions only. Parameter type, it is a property of the function. Return type is also property of the function. That means simply one line, our answer is a symbol table will store set of identifiers in the program as well as all the attributes of those identifiers. Attributes means properties of those identifiers. Clear? This is the some main information that is stored by the symbol table. Now is it clear, guys? What is the symbol table contains? Is it clear about the symbol table? What it contains? Next, how the symbol table is implemented inside. Internally, how the symbol table is maintained. Outside, we are simply saying it as a table only, but internally, how it is maintained. That is the one more point we have to learn. Internally, compiler, how the compiler will maintain means generally the compiler will maintain symbol tables using unordered list. Okay, unordered list, by using the unordered list, it will maintain the symbol tables. Some main techniques are linear list, hash tables, binary search trees. Okay, so three different techniques it will follow is the one technique for maintaining the implementation of symbol table is linear list. The second one is hash table. The third one is the binary search tree. But most of the times, most of the compilers will implement symbol table using hash table only. Most of the compilers will generally use the hash table. The general techniques available for maintaining the symbol tables is linear list, hash table, and binary search tree. I think you have idea about the linear lists. List idea ఉన్నాయి కదండి. Single linked list, double linked list. Lists are you have some idea about the lists. Similarly, you know very well about the binary search trees. I think you have very good idea about the binary search trees also. Can you give some examples of binary search trees? Some examples of binary search trees, BSTs. Yeah, very good. AVL trees. ఇంకా రెడ్ బ్లాక్ ట్రీ ఐడియా ఉందండి? Do you have idea about the red black trees? B trees, B plus trees. I think మీ సిలబస్ లో వచ్చి ఉండాలి ఇవన్నీ. ఇన్ ద డిఎస్ ఆర్ ఏడిఎస్, బహుశా ఏడిఎస్ లో వచ్చి ఉంటాయండి. రెడ్ బ్లాక్ ట్రీస్, B trees, B plus trees. All these are the binary search trees. Okay, concept is they are implementing the binary search tree concept. Now I have a small doubt whether you have know about the hash table or not. Do you have idea about the hash table? For the first and third one, I know very well. You know about them. Hash table. Okay, then it is very good if you know the hash table also. Okay, when we come to the hash table, it will store the data in the table by using some hash function. Basing on the result of the hash function, it will store the data in that one. If it is also you have idea, then everything is happy. If you know about hash table also. Okay, these are the three techniques for implementing symbol table. Internally, it will maintain either linear list, hash table, or BSTs. But most of the compilers are maintaining symbol table using hash table only. It will internally maintain the hash table. Yeah, exactly. Based on reminder. Okay. Clear. That is the implementation of this symbol table. Next, when we want to the this one, we have to know about the methods of the or operations of symbol table. What are the functions or operations of symbol table? These are some important operations on the symbol table. See those operations. Allocate operation or allocate function or allocate method. Okay, to create the new empty symbol table, the allocate operation is used to create the empty symbol table. To create first empty symbol table, it will use the allocate method. Next, free method, free operation. The free method is used to remove all the entries of the symbol table. To make symbol table empty again, to remove all the data from the symbol table, you will use the free. What is this lookup means? Search method. Okay. The lookup operation is used to search for an entry, whether an identifier is present in not. To find an identifier, it will use the lookup operation. That is our search operation. Normally we call it as search operation. Here the name is the lookup operation. Next, insert. Very well, we know very well about this one. So insert a new identifier into the symbol table. Insert operation is there. Whenever we want to enter the new identifiers into the symbol table. Next, set attribute, get attribute. Okay, what is the set attribute is? After an identifier is entered into the symbol table, to store the attributes of that identifier, we are using set attribute. For example, one identifier is stored in the symbol table. That means one function name is stored in the symbol table. After that function name is stored, we want to store the attributes of that function. Clear? Attributes of the function means what are the parameters passed to that one, how many parameters are passed, what are the data types, what is the type of parameter passing, what is the return type. To store all those values, set attribute is used to store the attributes of an identity, whatever the identity identifier we have added. To store the information about that identifier, set attribute is used. To get the attributes of that identity, get attribute is used to retrieve. Okay, to retrieve the properties of an identifier, we use get attribute. To add new attributes to that identifier, we use the set attribute. Okay, these are the some important operations on the symbol table. Okay, guys, are you getting my voice now? Voice వస్తుందండి. Okay, this is the today's small concept, that is the symbol tables. Okay, the total today's concept is about briefly to know about the symbol tables. Again, when we come to our fourth unit, we will get more things about the symbol table. In the fourth unit, we will learn more concepts about symbol table. Now for today, the symbol table, briefly the concept of the symbol tables is this one. What is a symbol table? What are the elements that are stored in the symbol table? How symbol table is created? What are the important operations on that one? In the future class, we have to know completely about this one. Okay, by using those three different methods, how the symbol table is implemented. Okay, how the operations are performed. And we want to know how symbol table is used by the various phases. In which phase, how the symbol table is used. That things we will learn in the future classes. Clear? This is briefly about the today's concept of symbol tables. Is it okay, guys? Now the concept. Okay, guys. For today's class, we are winding the class with this concept. Tomorrow we will see another new concept. Okay. We will meet again on the next class. And one more thing is, sorry, I have promised to send you the material by the end of yesterday only, but I failed. By today evening, definitely I will send you the material up to this part, complete part. Okay, by today evening, definitely I will send to you. Okay, guys, thank you very much.